So what are we talking about? First of all, this is the 5v5 Midwest versus West Coast that just recently happened over Combo Breaker weekend.
Yes.
And it feels appropriate going into the top 8 today for the CPT Midwest to break down what exactly went on. Coming into the enemy's territory, Combo Breaker is the Midwest event, and you could even argue the event for the FGC. Yeah. And to come to the Midwest and go behind enemy lines and stake your claim like, hey, we're the region to beat, and we're gonna show you why. Mad props to the West Coast for that. They came into the Midwest and Combo Breaker 5v5 looking to play, and they were playing for a bit. We gotta look, Brian, be real. That score.
They came into the Lions den. They were looking at us, and we walked in there, with our shields. They only seen us. We took all the enemy fire, and we went down in a line of battle. And sure enough, the true threat, the young god, Justakid, who we are blessed enough to have on the show right now, ladies and gentlemen, he came and ascended to a new level. David, what's going on, bro?
Not much, just chilling, hearing you guys talk that talk. I'll say that
yes,
much.
Sir.
You know what I'm saying? But
talk is only one thing, no. Talk is only one thing, man. Like, what about that? Well, I guess we should. Brian, do you think we should recap first what happened before we get to
we can set up the stage here, what was going on,
Let's set the stage.
So, the first 2 competitors go up to play. We had Flaquito going up against Max, but he got a little zoned out, I feel like, at the end. Rose's long range buttons and everything. You threw me up there to dust off the old ROG to clean up some rows, and then immediately that draws out Chris CCH. And that told me something. They were worried about me with ROG, I feel like. They were actually very concerned because their team was 2 Roses and a decent amount of zoners with Manat with Jot. So they wanted me out of the way, so they throw Chris CCH up there. I try the Oro. 2-1, he gets me this time. All right. Joey goes up next. Gets close, doesn't quite get it. And then I believe that was you, Rob.
Yeah, so I felt like momentum-wise, it would just be really big to try to go and get that win right now. And it was worth the risk of putting me up at that point. Me and Chris go and play. We play Karen versus Luke. It comes down to last game, last round. We both had to end there. Pretty much one more hit can end it. He played great. I played great. But in the end of the day, he was able to clutch out. That dash up counter hit crouch medium punch for the win at the end, though, bro.
Oh,
the counter hit caused extra pushback. If I won the set and I didn't.
If you saw me in the crowd, Rob, I literally collapsed. My heart fell out of my chest in that moment.
I know when you saw the crouch medium punch lane, your heart probably was like, yes.
Oh my god, I was distraught because the way that it was working, like we felt like we can get past Chris, get past the Luke, we could handle any of us. As long as any of us got past them, we felt like we could carry on. And then Rob, you got so close, and then it just couldn't close it out like that. Oh my god,
yours was close like that too. But props to Chris for clutching out both of those big wins.
Chris came super clutch. Great. He was clutch over and over. He was playing great, but then
come on, bro. That's when the young god comes in.
Then it was time for David.
Come on, bro. David, how are you feeling going up to that set with Chris CCH? At that point, you're the last person left that has 2 lives on our team.
Well, I was thinking to myself, you know what? It's time to do some work. I'll say that much. I'll say that. I kind of felt like I was confident against Chris. We haven't played in I don't know how many months that was. So I don't think you're ready for that. And I don't think you don't even know jury like that. So I'm going to test you. I'm going to see what you know. And, if you get hit, it's not on me.
Yeah.
It's just not on me. And
did you feel like he didn't know that matchup really well?
No.
Yeah, you were looking confident. I mean, it wasn't just in the gameplay. Like, you getting on that stage. So first of all, the crowd is going wild. West Coast is popping off. They're starting to feel it too. Because they're starting to run away with it a little bit, right? Like, we can't get past Chris. There was even a moment where they were asking, "Do you guys want to change the format to prevent a massacre?" So were you nervous at all? Were you like feeling the crowd? It looked like what was that like?
I literally just felt like I'm be mad entertaining, just like my friend RobTV over here, and I'm put on a good show. And the moment I get games, I'm going to just look at them in the face like, you really try to challenge us. I'm just saying. I'm going to look at them like,
I love
that's
that,
how y'all
bro.
feel, huh? I'm just saying.
That was so good.
I was feeling that crowd energy. Brian, I literally heard you in my right ear every time I got a hit. I swear to God. Like,
man.
I literally heard.
I was popping off.
I was literally like, bro, my man Brian is just popping off no matter what kind of hit it is, whether it's a jab
It was a jab.
Yeah.
I lost my voice over a jab connecting, man. I was going ham.
So,
It didn't
but we
matter.
gotta make sure we advance it. So after that, so you go and beat Chris. That is huge. The witch is dead, right? That's huge. So Stupendous comes up against you, and we are thinking it's a foregone conclusion that this is about to be a wash, respectfully. But Stupendous plays godlike. Like, bro, he was in a different mode, and you guys had a good set, but he actually was able to close it out and take David off.
Like, Chris was their second player, so they still
you're
had
right.
3
So
remaining.
they're still, and we have no one with 2 lives at that point. We see the graphic up there on the screen.
Yeah, we were behind, but there was hope. But after that, I think we set up Mags again for the counter pick, because once everyone went through once, we can once again send up players who had already been on stage. We all had 2 lives. Mags takes out Stupendous, layman him out. Jot goes up at that point, if I'm not mistaken, and then he takes out Mags.
So rough. And Joey goes up.
So he takes out Jot, and then up comes Filipino Man, who takes down Joey. And then once again, my position is take out the Rose. Take out the Rose, and West Coast was teching. Filipino Man actually put me in losers in bracket, but this time I was warmed up for the Rose shenanigans. I got him with full V-trigger and 2 bars for a comeback. Against Balrog with full V-trigger, I was like, sick. Okay, once that lands, I'm like, you're kind of a little spooked on your defense. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like, you should never let that happen. He lost like 60% from one tech. But yeah, closed it out with the ROG. But once again, their strategy was clear. Chris CCH comes out immediately. This was the closest one. He got me in bracket 2-1 in the first 5 set of the 5v5 2-1, and then this one is 2-1 last interaction. Yeah, he got me. I mean, what can I say? I'm knocking on that door with Chris, but I got to give him props. He got me 3 times in one weekend. What can I say? But yeah, it was close. Like, strategy wise, I feel like I'm getting there, but he had it. But at that point, we only had 2 people left. We had Rob, we had you left, and we had Justakid, and we were thinking about it. I was like, David's already done it once. Just let him go. Just let him go. It's time. And then history was in the making. So what were you thinking, David, and going up again against Chris? So we are down. They're at 8. It's 10 points, right? We were behind by a lot. And then you're on the stage. So how are you feeling at this point?
If I couldn't beat Chris this time, I 100% Rob can smoke all of them. So I was already comfortable with, like, even if I lose, I trust Rob. And I feel like vice versa, same thing. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to just do what I do. I'm going to do the same thing I did, same strategy and everything. If he doesn't adapt to it, it's on him. So I just went in.
And you took out who we believe to be the problem again. But then Stupendous comes up again. And
bro,
that was the most surprising thing to me previously, was that Stu got the set on you and you had to have the run back with him. It was looking clean. It seemed like you cleaned it up with the first game, but then he started landing like the freaking tundras, like the specific counters. You were about to beat him 2-0, and I think he got you with like an air SPD read. And then suddenly it comes down to the final round where you have him knocked down. You go to jump away on his wake up because he has super. He catches you with the air SPD and runs it all the way back. What were you thinking when it came down to like that final decision?
Let me just say that Stu, I'm not sure if he did this intentionally, but I heard the churn in my right ear. So I'm like, he's waking up super. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to neutral jump because I'm hearing it. And then that wake up EX air SPD hit, and I was like, oh, you baited me.
He baited you in real life.
Yeah, I was like, that
playing with no headphones, bro.
That's the OG. Yeah, the side-by-side OG mind game.
I was like, I heard the churn, bro. And I was like, oh, nah, bro. There's no way. There's no way. And then he was about to make the comeback. He walked up. I think we're in neutral. He EX SPD'd me. all you guys are like, your hearts are like in right now in your hands.
Yo, when Geef lands at EXSPD,
I didn't know Rise. It was like, this is it. Whoever does something. And then I was like, you know what? I'm about to do the smug tech. Jump light kick, instant light kick, because I know it's gonna hit him if he tries to go for a throw, and it worked.
That was one of the most clutch things I ever seen in Street Fighter 5.
Oh my god!
Like that, bro, against Geef.
From both though, like Stu was coming so like Stu played phenomenally. Like we got to give him a lot of credit. Like he's the person who took David's life there in that first run in, and then pushing you to the limit and forcing you to guess for game like that. I mean, that was just unreal, to be honest.
So after you go ahead and beat Stu in an amazing nail biting set, I want to say you go up against
Ja,
and that was an uneventful one. I would say. I think if I remember correctly, that was more of a.
They were both trying to lame each other out.
At this point, it's 2v2. It's Filipino Man and Flaquito going up against myself and the God, the MVP, Justakid. Did you, or I mean, it looked like you already had this super strong strategy against Rose.
First off, that matchup is pretty much trash for Rose. I mean, once I get V-score or meter, it's like, what you gonna do?
Yeah,
press your buttons. Press your buttons. I don't care. Like, it was literally just it was two good matches for me. So I'm like, if y'all don't know anything about jury, I'm about to smoke y'all. And lo and behold, they didn't know anything. They didn't know how to do nothing.
Yeah, if you look at the score, like after Stu, you didn't lose a game for the rest of the evening.
Did he not?
3 sets straight.
Yo,
3 sets straight.
Brian.
So 2-0 over Jot, 2-0 over Flaquito, just completely nullifying the game plan. And then Filipino Man comes up. And I felt like he was already looking a little shaky on defense when I played him earlier.
He was. David, I went up there on stage before you played Filipino Man in the last set. What'd I say?
Weren't you like saying like he's shaky, he's nervous, he's texting or something like that?
Yes, he texts. He text extremely.
Yeah.
Like and he take way more than most people would at like his skill level.
Certain weird situation where it's like in neutral, like you can take a throw, but then it's like, nah, I'm gonna text. Like,
yes, and especially in the corner or clutch situations or whatever. So I do want to make sure I just set the stage before we talk about this last match. We were emotional, right? Like damn near moved to tears from the way you were. I'm welling up, but I'm up here talking to Brian and I was talking to my dad or something. My pops was there. Shout out to Dad TV, and I'm still in the thing to anchor. So I'm trying my best not to get so emotional that I take myself out of if I happen to have to go up and play or whatever. So, me and Brian are like, man, it just looked like we're sitting here and seeing you. Like we're having a flashback of back when you used to suck at Street Fighter and you just would jump all the time and you refuse the anti-air and things like that. And then we're sitting here and watching you play absolutely perfect. You didn't even do, not that an EXDP would be bad. You played amazing defense, like Dominion in Street Fighter 4 or something. And you never did one wake up EXDP, but somehow blocked everything. Right. And here you are going up against their team captain, Filipino Man. If you win, it's done. What was going through your head?
I never put all that into my head at that moment. I was just like, one more. That's all it is. Just one more person to beat, and we got it. And I was feeling that crowd because it was literally like that finish line was just right there. I needed to just go a little bit more. I just pulled it, and like my mother says, I pulled a rabbit out of a hat.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it was clear that you weren't just hyped up and like going all in and rushing in and trying to end it quick, right?
Like
you defended.
I just went in, yeah.
yeah. Like your offense was on point, but your defense, I feel like, sealed the deal in those moments. So like, what were you thinking? Like, how were you? Like, I'm just wondering how you stayed calm enough to defend so well in this situation. It's like, how are you not getting too hype in that moment and trying to go in and getting, killed in those moments?
Well, the funny thing about me is that I typically don't take notes. Like, I know you, Rob, you like to take notes. I understand strategies and everything. But with me, I kind of, if I see something from a player that I'm going to play soon, I kind of put a mental note down, or I'll be like, that's kind of interesting. And to the naked eye, just like, oh, he just said something. Like, I remember when Filipino was playing Alpha B on stream, and Alpha B was teching super hard, and Filipino always likes to capitalize on it. I was like, I'm just not gonna tag. I'm gonna take all the throws, and I already know how Rose's V trigger 2 works. Because I mean, everyone was like doing that back when it first like popped up and everything. So I was just like, yeah, I kind of know how you're gonna play. So I'm going to like use that against you. So,
fellas, overall, bro, I just want to say I'm super proud that the squad was able to defend the Midwest, which of course was mainly by the MVP and the I don't want to say the West Coast Slayer, because I'm not trying to disrespect the West Coast, because they played amazing too, man. Shout out to Chris, shout out to everybody over there for building up an amazing match, for playing well and putting on an amazing show for the people. But just the kid.
He kind of slayed the West Coast.
He slayed them. That's just what happened. That's no disrespect. I'm just speaking facts,
how else to put it.
Yeah. He beat everyone on team OCV. So, David, I have to ask, at this point, I feel like, one, you just made FGC history. This will be remembered for years to come. This will be in combo breaker reels and all this type of stuff, man. That's one of the most electric and lively crowds that I have seen and been a part of at a FGC event. And I think that your profile is raised at this point even more than what it was. How are you feeling now? Do you have any last words in general for all of the people out there and the new fans that you may have gained?
It's probably not gonna set a stone for me, like that's history at first, but once probably like maybe I see a recap video of it or something like that, I'm gonna be like thinking about like, oh, that happened. That actually did happen. I'm like, oh crap. But thank you to everyone who continued to cheer on the Midwest, because we still gotta cook. We still gotta eat. You know what I'm saying? The homies Rob, Brian, all the people who have kind of seen me grown from this trash kid to being like, okay, he's kind of a threat. He's kind of there. So
to carrying us. We got carried this weekend.
To carrying us in your backpack.
So our investment paid off. You know what I'm saying? The one thing I was thinking of is we all did work. We all did our part. You definitely carried us, except for Rob, who won 0 sets of the evening. So I just wanted to point that out before we move on.
Oh my gosh, I was in the anchor spot. Okay?
Rob was the only person in the entire event who didn't win a set. Everybody else did their thing.
That's between y'all two. I'm not. Nah.
So thank you for carrying Rob the most, David. That's what I wanted to get my point across. Thank you, David.
Thanks.
Man, I feel like Rob got that little something on his shoulder right there. He wants to say.
No. I feel like this was the perfect outcome for everything, bro.
Please be sure to give Justakid a follow on all the platforms and check out what's going on with his socials. And yeah, David, I just want to say final words. Super proud of how far you've come, man. You really made us proud. A few tears were shed, and we're looking forward to defending ourselves against you in this upcoming CPT Midwest. Because now we got a problem now.
Y'all done. Rob, I'm coming for you. Brian, I got double jeopardy by you. You done.
Oh no.
Done.
We created a monster.
Especially.
We created a monster, Rob.
We should have never traded him up like.
Oh no.